Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to relay that it has been a great week. It's been a great day. Great day yesterday. On the Hill, meeting with senators, earning every vote. I have a great deal of respect for this process. Advice and counsel have gotten great advice. We don't take anything for granted. The conversations have been robust, candid at times, with great questions on policy, personality, everything. So we're going to earn those votes. We're fighting all the way through the tape. We're grateful to have the president's support because his vision for this Department of Defense is to bring it back to its core capacity of deterring our enemies and, if necessary, defeating those enemies. And that means ultimately putting war fighting at the middle of what the Pentagon does. No more social justice, politically correct approaches to how we fight and conduct wars.
You know, I'm really glad he said that because I hearken back to the days that I served in the Marine Corps, and it was all about performance. It was all about war fighting. It was all about accomplishing the mission. Excuse me. And I just don't think that today's military is the way I remembered it when I retired in 2019. And there's so much emphasis on everything else other than war fighting. And it's good to see the good old knife hand used by Pete Hegseth, because, you know, it's a symbol of someone who has direction, someone who has determination to accomplish the mission with the resources that are provided. And it signifies the type of grit that you need to have in the face of adversity. And so I really appreciate Pete for accepting Donald Trump's nomination for being the head of the Department of Defense. He is a complete 180 from Lloyd Austin. Lloyd Austin, he took medical leave without telling anybody. There's no accountability. When you look at the Afghanistan withdrawal, it was a debacle that led to 13 service members dying. No accountability whatsoever. And so we cannot have an organization that was built to eliminate the enemy through lethal means to go off and do some other ancillary mission that doesn't protect this country, doesn't protect our citizens, and doesn't protect our sovereignty.
This is about lethality, meritocracy, readiness, warfighting, and accountability. And I'm grateful that President Trump has bestowed this opportunity on me. This process has been a very good one, despite all the noise on the outside. Had a great interview with Megyn Kelly yesterday, and will continue to answer questions specifically to senators, who are the ones that deserve answers to every question they have. And in every office we've stood in, we've welcomed that opportunity. It has been a great week. It's a process that's ongoing, and we look forward to finishing it.
Will you support the release? Will you support the release of the whistleblower report for the concern?
It's very interesting what the press likes to dub a whistleblower report, which some others might clarify as a email from a disgruntled employee. One might say.
So would you support the release?
Do you think you can convince Joni Ernst?
You on the issue of alcohol?
No, we've had great conversations about who I am and what I believe, and frankly, the man I am today. Because of my faith in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my incredible wife, Jenny, right here. I'm a different man than I was years ago. And that's a redemption story that I think a lot of Americans appreciate. And I know from fellow vets that I've spent time with, they resonate with that as well. You fight, you go do tough things in tough places on behalf of your country. And sometimes that changes you a little bit. And by the grace of God and my Lord and Savior, I had an opportunity to come on up out of it and do great things with great veterans organizations that fought for vets, that fought for reform at the VA and for war fighters, and at the Fox News Channel to advocate for those very same causes. And I'm proud of what I fought for. I'm not going to back down from them one bit. I will answer all of these senators' questions, but this will not be a process tried in media. I don't answer to anyone in this group, none of you, not to that camera at all. I answer to President Trump, who received $76 million votes on behalf and a mandate for change. I answer to the 100 senators who are part of this process and those in the committee, and I answer to my Lord and Savior and my wife and my family. I'm proud to be here. And as long as Donald Trump wants me in this fight, I'm going to be standing right here in this fight, fighting to bring our Pentagon back to what it needs to be.
What have your conversations on Vows with
Thank you. Have a good weekend, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
And I gotta tell you, I like the direction he's going in. I like his tone. I like his tempo of conversation and the way he handles reporters and the way he handles questions. I think that he'll do well during the Senate confirmation. But Pete, if you're listening, I really appreciate you on Fox News as a contributor. I really appreciate your service to this country. And as a fellow veteran, I think that people like myself and others most likely needed to hear that, because, we do, when I served active duty or whatever, or you don't have to be active duty these days. There are sacrifices that you can make without being part of the armed forces. And so what I'll say in general is that, you go away, you do hard things, you do tough things, and then you come back and, you don't just automatically drop what you've been going through for the last 7 months, 12 months, 13 months. There's an unpacking process that has to happen. And most of the time, most veterans turn to their vices to hit the pressure valve and make them want to forget about the hard times of suffering. Now, I've never been on the front lines in terms of putting rounds down range in wartime, but what I could tell you is that any service member will identify with the fact that being away from family and being away when things on stateside pop up and you're not there to take care of it the way you normally would, add some stress on you. There could be a death in the family that you may not be able to get to because of your operational status. That could be weighing on you. Your kid could be sick. Your kid could be having a hard time at school. Your dog got hit by a car. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be putting rounds down range, firing at the enemy during wartime to have and build up stress and stuff like that. Stress builds up in other ways, some more intense than others. I get it, but I think as a veteran, I needed Pete to say that to remind me and others that if you have a good family support system, if you believe in your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and you make an effort to celebratorily drink in moderation, then you'll be okay. We all have challenges that we have to dig ourselves out of, but for the most part, I think that we have the support to get out of whatever rut that we are in. And if some have a harder time than others getting out of that rut, then there's support around you, family, friends, other veterans, which I could categorize as friends, but they're more like buddies. They're more like they're more like watch guys, right? We do it every year. When certain parts of the year come up, we call each other to make sure that we're all right. It's a partnership to make sure that no Marine or no other service member is left behind from a veteran standpoint. So, I really hope that Pete gets the nomination sealed and Congress votes him in to be Department of Defense, because I'm telling you, The armed forces needs a guy like that to take on the challenges that the United States has in keeping our sovereignty and exercising peace through strength, because our military is unrelenting, and we will first do no harm, but we will rain down steel on any nation that threatens our sovereignty. All right. So, hey, to all my veterans out there, keep strong, keep communicating. For everybody else, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.